all you space engineers out there. Commander Kingfish here, and I am back in Space Engineers 2. Well, actually, I am looking at Marek's blog right now, so that's where we're going to start. Basically, what Marek has to say this week. So he's talking about the big news, which is Vertical Slice 1.2 is going to be released on Monday, April 14th. And if we hop over here to the roadmap, we can see that Vertical Slice 1 was released on January 27th. Vertical Slice 1.1, which is the Steam Workshop, was released on March 10th. And then we got weekly updates, which are the new blocks that we receive every week. And then Vertical Slice 1.2, which is going to be released on April 14th, is going to be improved mechanics. That's going to be target-based grid control, paint gun, undo and redo, off-center third-person camera, and a lot more. So that's what the roadmap looks like. Vertical Slice 1.1 is or 1.5 is going to be modding support and then additional improvements until we get to what I'm excited about is Vertical Slice 2. So let's hop back over into Marek's blog and see what he has to say this week. Obviously, he talks about Monday, April 14th of Vertical Slice 1.2 being released. He's talking about in survival, players will build in projection mode. So first as a projection and then weld it, which is going to be a bit different than what we are used to in SE1, where we would throw down a block and then we would just weld that block. They're working on the projection mode, and this is kind of the first projection mode. So if we click play, you'll kind of see it real quick, and that's basically the first iteration of that. They're working on the new in-camera IK. I believe that's in-camera. So when you're walking upstairs and stuff like that in first-person mode, the camera goes up and down. What you stop it, or when you stop, it continues in the movement for a tiny moment. So they're still trying to clean that up, work on that. They had their regular play test, and things that he focused on was consumables, healing via the med kit, and death from damage or collision and respawn. The other thing that he talks about is caves on the planet, which is going to be kind of cool because in SE1 we never had caves. We had to make our own caves and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be really good. He talks about they're looking pretty good. They look realistic, but they've still got more improvements to do on that. Talking about shooting from the debug gun has now correct recoil and camera shake. And down below down here, there's a short video on the debug gun. So they're still working away on that. Marek feels that there's still some improvement on that because it's not exactly what he's used to in other first-person shooter games. So they're still kind of working on that and taking a look at how to improve that. He also mentions that there's a audio lag in the GUI when you put the mouse over a button. There's usually when you click on a button, there's a cling, and he feels it's a little bit laggy, so they're still working on that. The other thing that he's talking about is a switch between the toolbars via Alt Control plus mouse wheel. That seems to be a little clunky to me, and I would love to see something that you can just kind of maybe just put the mouse over on your tool and then click to that. I don't know. Right now, I'm still used to hitting the control and then the number, and just it moves it through that way. They wanted to play test or detection mechanics, but that got postponed, it looks like, so that'll be next week. Another thing that's kind of exciting is the deco prototyping. This is going to be pretty interesting stuff because this is going to allow you to really be able to trick out the interiors of your ships or your bases. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing some of this stuff get released. so we can start playing around with it. You can see some of the interiors that they have used this on, and it really does look pretty cool. Here is the equipped and unequipped animation, which is coming along. So let's click that, and you can kind of see where, there we go, picking it up, putting it out, shooting. So that's looking pretty good. And I think we can, there's the animation on the gun. So let's go ahead and just pause that right there. They're working on more floral. This is the volcanic foliage that they have. And then, as always, they are showing, or Marek's showing, some of the ships, some of the amazing ships. And you guys can go out to the workshops and take a look at what these ships are being created. The modders, some of these modders are just amazing with what they can do. And I've always been envious of their design. So really nice stuff. So the last thing I have today is to hop over and into the game itself and preview or show the two new blocks this week. We've got stairs, catwalk stairs. So let me get over into the game, and I'll catch up with you over there. Okay, here we are. We are over in the game itself, and we're at my base. There's the abomination, which I didn't do anything on it this week. There wasn't much to do in there, so as I get more blocks, I might do some more work on it. But there it is. It's made its guest appearance this week. All right, so today's the two new blocks that we got this week is stairs. So if we get over here to, actually, if we bring up G, you'll see that they have their own grouping. So we've got catwalk stairs, we've got narrow, and we've got, let's see, if we scroll down here, they should be down below. Here we are. We've got the narrow stairs and then the regular wide stairs. So that's what we're looking at today. So I have put a couple of them down here just to see what the blocks look like. And then I have also come over here and I've built out using the catwalks along with the stairs, and have kind of done what I usually do. What I like to do with the stairs is put them in and have them come down. Now, the other nice thing that we have with these catwalks is we have these angled pieces now. I used to use a unfinished block to create and show support for the different catwalks coming down through here. So if we come over here and fly over here, you can see how I've built those out, and that I was able to put the supports in, and with the catwalk, and then with the stairs. So that's using the wide block catwalk stairs. Let's come up here and hop down and land. And then I was just a little off on bringing those stairs down. So what I did was I took the small detail block and just kind of built a final little steps in there. So that's going to be one of the nice things. So you don't have to be fully precise on everything. And I think that being off a little bit probably has to do with how I matched things up coming down through the stairs there. So that's probably accounts for the difference. But I think they look pretty good. They're pretty sharp looking. And the other thing that I tested that I like is that I would get a little frustrated in Space Engineers 1, where I would start dealing with these stairs and I would try to hook them up to a catwalk and they wouldn't attach. Pretty much had to have some sort of support or side of a building to be able to run your stairs down through. And so a lot of times I would like put a catwalk here and then have a stairs coming out, and or if you're doing like a staircase and you're trying to match up a catwalk, so you would be coming up, turning, and then going up the next one and then coming around. and the catwalks would not match up, or they would not stick to each other. So, or attach, I should say. So now they do attach. So that's looking pretty good. I like that. So if we come over here, you'll kind of see we can pull up. Let's do 6, and that is, if we flip this around, you'll kind of see where the attachment, see where the green is on there. So that's your attachment point. So you only have the 2 attachment points here, but they do have attachments. So we could plop that down right there. And then if we come over here and put this to the end, let's see if we can get this lined up. Come down a little bit so we can see what we're doing. All right, let's see if we can get this to, there we go. You can kind of see where it's attached to the green, and there's 2 attachment points. So if we come down one more, there we go. And so that, I find that that lines up with the other stairs. So if we come over here and look at it, you can see where that's lined up, and then your stairs, you don't run into any kind of a problem. Let's get over here. Let's, oop. Well, that was not good. I thought I was over the stairs. You know, the commander. There we go. Now we're on the stairs. So you don't feel any jog as you're walking through where they've been attached. So that's pretty good. I like that. All right. I think that's just about going to wrap things up. Let me hop up here and get back over here where we put our stairs in and land. And again, kind of see. I'm excited. I'm really happy with the way Keen's been progressing. They're giving us new blocks. They're keeping rolling stuff out. So they're being very transparent with the build on where it's at. So that is today's update. And, oh, not quite. So one more point is, you noticed I got railings all the way down. I was able to put railings on the catwalk here. But the problem is, this railing here is taking up the attachment point right there. So there's no attachment point on this catwalk. But I'm assuming that just like we had in SE1, we will get a much more variety of these catwalks, and there'll be catwalks that have corner rails already on them, and so that those will fit, and then you'd be able to just throw one of those catwalks down there instead of adding the rails. So that was one of the things that I did find on this right now, that I couldn't attach a rail on this catwalk. It's not a bug, it's just that those catwalks, you just don't have that many attachment points. But again, I'm pretty sure that they will be providing more catwalks, and I would be surprised if they didn't. So, all right, now that's going to wrap up this week's update on SE2, Space Engineers 2. I'll look to do another update next week. We'll doing the new blocks that come out, whichever they are, plus trying to figure out what the new mechanics or what's been modified with the vertical slice 1.2 that's been released. So, okay, well, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the video, and please subscribe. That will really help out the channel. Okay, all you space engineers out there, keep your heads low, keep building away, and don't get shot. And with that, Commander Kingfish is out of here, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.